Hi everyone, Great Power 60 here. Welcome to another Tea with Me Tuesday. Today I thought we would talk about happy things. There's been so many anxious moments with school starting and children going to school, and I thought we need happy thoughts. We need to think about happy thoughts um, and not worry. Try and sort of calm ourselves down and feel good about ourselves. And what are some of the things that make us happy? Um, One of the things that makes me happy is when mom is in a good mood and she wants to try things and she wants to clean the house, or she asks me for things that I don't have to remind her to do, which is really makes me so happy. Um, Watching the little birds on our balcony at the bird feeder. Sometimes we'll get, 8 or 9, 10, and I love watching them. Mom loves watching them. I love babies' laughs. I love my grandchildren's laughs. I love the giggles of a tiny new baby. There's a lot of things that make me smile. There's a lot of things that make me happy. And what are yours? What makes you happy? It's been a long time since we've laughed and smiled without worry, without, you know, this whole new world that we're in and having to look inside of ourselves, because I think sometimes we are so filled with looking outside and all of the things that we have no control over. We can control ourselves. We can control our emotions. And even though every day I try to wake up and think of one thing that I'm grateful for that morning, um, it's nice to think of all the things that makes me smile. And it could be the silliest thing. It could be the smallest thing. It could be watching a video of a puppy or a kitten or a baby. Um, and some of the videos where you see little kids talking to their mom and dad, and they're so grown up in their speech is just hilarious. Um, and they're 3 or 4 or 5 going on 50. They're smarter than we are. So things like that make me smile. There's a lot of things that make me smile. What makes you smile? The more that our world is changing, the more unexpected things that happen, the more we need to appreciate ourselves. We need to keep happy. We need these things. We need to laugh. Um, Responsibility in our life, we take sometimes way too seriously, to the point where we want to control so many things. And sometimes it's better to just go with the flow, have a plan, and go with the flow. And if the plan doesn't work, go with plan B. And if plan B doesn't work, go with plan C. There's always something in life that is going to turn our world upside down. Whether it is death of a parent, a relative, sibling, child, whether it's loss of a job, whether it's losing our homes, being on the street, being away from our family, being estranged from our family. There's a lot of things sometimes that we don't think we can control, but what we can control is our reaction to those things. And I learned that even at my age, at 69 years old, I learned that I was reacting to negativity the wrong way. And I'm still learning. at my age. I'm still learning how to cope with things I have no control over. And the best way to cope is to try and be grateful for what you have. Be grateful for the moment. Be grateful for what you can do. And look inside yourself, and every once in a while remind yourself of when you laughed and what made you laugh, what made you happy. What things in your memories can you pull out and do again? You know, games that I played with my grandsons when they were little. I just adjusted them to their age and we play games. We have FaceTime because I don't see them as often as I used to, but we have FaceTime and we can chat and laugh. And the littlest one, I play games with I Spy. And what I do with my side is I'll go into my craft room, and I have a very messy craft room with a big bookcase full of stuff. And I'll put my camera on me, but behind me there's stuff and colors and things. And we'll play I Spy. And I'll get him to move his camera around, well, his iPad. I'll get him to move that around so that I can see more colors and more things. And he loves it. And it's just a game to play. Instead of just chatting, what are you doing? Nothing new, blah, blah, blah. We play games. And sometimes you have to really use your imagination, but that's what makes me smile. When I can, in the middle of the day, call them up, when they're bored, when they're tired, when they're anxious about school, just chat and play a game. And we can do that. And that's what makes me happy, and that's what makes me smile. So what makes you smile? There's a lot of things in life that I'm learning even at my age. I was watching a little poet today, and she was talking about something to the effect of, 5 things that we can learn, or something over 65 or whatever. And it was interesting not to be so hard on us, on ourselves, and to appreciate that as we get older, we can sit back and not take on our children's responsibilities. They have to do it. They have to deal with it. Unless they ask you for advice, I would not. I would let them find their way, just like I had to find my way. A lot of people, before Mom moved in with me, a lot of people thought, they felt sad for me. They felt sorry for me because I lived alone. And I can only say that living alone was probably, will always be, the best years of my life, where I could grow, I could try things, I could do things without anyone's judgment, without anyone saying yes or no, without having to compromise what I wanted to do because I was living with somebody. I enjoyed my quiet time. I had no TV, no radio, no news, just the sounds of the city outside of my apartment, or people walking down the hall, but it was quiet, and I like quiet. I think it's because all my life my ears have been very sensitive, so loud noises really are annoying to me. Loud sounds are very annoying to me. So the quiet I find so reflective. And I think it goes back to when I was a little girl and wanted to be a nun, and I went on retreat for a weekend where we went for supper on Friday night, And after supper, we could not talk until Sunday night when we were leaving. And even at the meals, you had to touch someone and ask for things, or, get it yourself, but no talking. There was a lot of reflection. There was a lot of praying. And I did a lot. I remember I was Catholic, I am Catholic, taking my catechism out, my prayer book, and walking the grounds. And the tranquility and the solitude was so impressive to me, was so rewarding to me, that quiet always brings my thought to spirituality. When I'm quiet, it's like meditating. When I'm quiet and I have a house, I could be scrubbing the floors, I could be redoing my cupboards, I could be doing a craft. Whatever it is that I'm doing when I was living alone, the quietness was like meditation for me. I always slept well. I always enjoyed that time. And I know a lot of people used to feel sorry for me, and I was very surprised because I was never lonely. I had bookshelves of books. I had my prayers. I had life, things. I went out and I came home. I had my little dog at the time. Before I had him, I had my cat, and just went out when I needed to, did whatever I wanted to do. And even as a young girl, I loved going shopping alone. I liked doing things alone. And it never occurred to me that I couldn't do things alone. I always found it annoying to have someone with me that wanted to do so much, and I felt dragged into doing whatever that was, so that was not happy to me. But the quietness. And I think when Mom first moved in with me, I was so used to being alone and not talking. For the first couple of years, it was very difficult for Mom and I to get used to each other. Mom was used to talking to her partner, to friends, being on the phone, taking her car and going out. And I was used to being alone and being quiet. So conversations were difficult for me. But eventually, we got used to each other. She got used to my quiet. I got used to her wanting to chat. So we kind of balanced that. And that makes me happy. It makes me happy that the first 2 years were so difficult, so hard for me, because I was losing my mom because of her memory loss, because of her dementia. And I found it hard on me, and yet now it was the best thing that could ever happen to me. It was the best thing because it was a lesson I had to learn. A lesson in compassion, in empathy, even though I thought I had all those things. And now when Mom does little things, it makes me smile. We talk, not as much, because Mom's conversation is no longer a conversation. It's more like Mom will be sitting and she'll see the clouds and she'll say, I'm looking at those white things. Sometimes she remembers the color. And other times I would talk to her about things and she couldn't remember. So I don't push her. I let her do her chatting. When I'm in the kitchen making supper, if she comes into the kitchen, I'll ask her if she wants to help me. 9 times out of 10, I do it alone. But every once in a while, when I see Mom following me into the kitchen when I say I'm going to make supper, and she follows me, I smile. It makes me happy to know that she wants to help. And I get her to help. Little things, So I try to think of all the things that make me happy now with this new life that I have, with this new role that I'm playing. Um, and there's a lot of things that I'm happy for. I'm happy for our health. I'm happy for our home. I'm happy that we have um, friends like you. I'm happy that I have my grandsons that bring me such joy. There's a lot of things that I'm happy for. And when I start to feel sad because of uh, difficult situations within our family, I now look at it differently. Instead of looking at it like I have no control, I have control over how I react and how I feel, and I get happy. I do happy things. I do things that are going to make me happy, whether it's having a bubble bath, whether it's watching an old movie, whether it's taking mom out for a drive, just shopping around. A lot of things make me happy. What makes you happy? How do you cope in this pandemic with your own personal health, your mental health, your emotional health? Try and remember that this will pass. As it says, this too will pass. It will. And then we'll have to decide, how do we want to live the rest of our lives? Do we want to live in anger and hatred? Or do we want to live in joy and appreciation and respect? Those are very powerful and important words to me. Anyway, I'm getting a little heavy duty. My tea is cold. Sorry about my rambling, but I was just thinking about so many things. And then after watching Susan's video, I was thinking of other things and thinking that, we do have regrets and we do have, we feel guilty about things, but it's in the past. And as long as you don't dwell on the past, they can't hurt you. As long as you leave them in the past. I have regrets. I have a few regrets. But those regrets are decisions that I made. Had I made a different decision, I may have regretted that. So, we have to leave them where they were. Life was life. We did what we did at the time, what we knew. You made decisions based on the knowledge you had at that time. Now, as we live life and go on, we look back at how we handled things. And sometimes we're critical of each other and of ourselves. But we have to realize that we were making good decisions based on the knowledge we had at that time. Be great to go back and say, yoo-hoo, don't do that. You'll be sorry. But would that person listen anyway? Your younger self. Who knows? Who knows? I don't know. Anyway, guys, thanks for joining me. It was a long one. I didn't expect it to be. I hope it didn't sound like I was preaching. I wasn't trying to. I was just going through happy thoughts in my mind and wanted to get those out. I wanted to embrace the very good life that I've had. I really want to embrace that because I've had a good life. I've had rocky roads. I've had to come close to a couple of cliffs where I could have fallen. We all have come to a point in our life where we've made a decision not knowing whether it was a good decision or not. Sometimes we make decisions based on, and we're firm with that, and we're happy with those decisions. And other times we make decisions, we're going, I could do this or I could do that. And it happened to me often in my young single mother days. It was decisions I had to make based on the knowledge that I knew at the time. And I wouldn't be here today if I hadn't have made those decisions. So who knows where I would be today? Who knows what would have happened to Mom if I had moved far, far away and couldn't come home to look after her. We don't know. We don't know. I'm just happy I have the path that I have, and I'm happy that I'm with you on YouTube, and I appreciate each and every one of you. And I hope that you'll bang that bell, hit that bell, and you'll be notified when I do put up another video. I hope you'll subscribe. Not all of my videos are long and boring, but we like to chat. And I have a couple of things I want to talk about next Tuesday, so we shall see how that goes. So maybe we'll have a Tea With Me Tuesday every Tuesday in September for now, and see how it goes. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me in my chat today, and we'll see you again soon. Bye for now.